Marcus Rashford has been included in the squad. Isn't this guy injured? Contrary to what everybody else is saying, this should be a walk in the park. Granada versus Man United, Europa quarterfinals, match preview, let's go. So the team news is that Anthony Martial is out injured, and the way Ollie has been speaking, he said that we will be lucky to see Anthony Martial play again this season. So the way he's been speaking, Anthony Martial will miss the rest of the season. We won't see him playing again. If you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel right now so you can see more content of this quality. So he is not available for this Granada game. Then Eric Bailly is still in Ivory Coast. He's waiting to clear for COVID. He's waiting to get a negative COVID test result, and then he can come over to the UK. So Anthony Martial, Eric Bailly, not available. But pretty much everybody else is available. So we've got a very decent squad to face Granada, with the exception of Marcus Rashford. And I say with the exception of Marcus Rashford because Marcus Rashford is injured, guys. Me, you, all the fans, we know Marcus Rashford is injured. The only person that does not know Marcus Rashford is injured is the manager. The manager still plays Marcus Rashford game in, game out, and the boy is injured. We saw him just on Sunday walking off the pitch limping, and now come Thursday he's already in the squad. Come on. But this is not new to Ollie. You know, Ollie plays players through injury. Remember last season with Paul Pogba, he played Paul Pogba through injury. Remember last season as well with Marcus Rashford, he played Marcus Rashford through injury. And even Harry Maguire, he played Harry Maguire last season through injury. Harry Maguire is taking pills and injections to numb the pain to play. Even Victor Lindelof with his back problem from last year, Ollie's been playing him through injury. So we have a manager that plays players through injury, and it's to the detriment of the players, because at some time Marcus Rashford needs to take accountability for his own health and his own well-being, because at the rate that Marcus Rashford is going, guys, that boy, I think by 29, 28 he will be done in football in terms of the real high playing at playing at the highest level. Just like Wayne Rooney. You know, Wayne Rooney, when he was probably about 29, he was done. He was done at the highest level, and I fear that will be Marcus Rashford as well, because Rashford is not taking care of his own body. He has to take care of his own body, and but also you have to put the blame at Ollie's feet, because every player wants to play. If you ask any player, whether he's half fit, whether he's full fit, whether he's on form, whether he's out of form, the player will always say, I want to play. I want to play. I believe that I can help the team, and I want to play. So the manager has to step in from then and look at it from the outside and say, you know what, you're not fit enough to play for us. And Ollie doesn't have that ability, because Ollie has to play his strongest 11, guys. Ollie cannot play without Marcus Rashford. He can't play without Bruno, and he can't play without Pogba. The minute you take one of those players out, you see a drastic drop in our performances, and you see a drastic drop in our results. And the reason for that is because we don't have a system. So we rely on individual brilliance. When you have a system in football, it doesn't matter which player you take out and which player you put in, you will still maintain performances. Number one, you will still maintain performances. You will still be able to pass the ball well, and off the ball you'll still be able to defend well, because the system is doing the job, not just the individual players. So number one, if you have a system, you will still maintain performances, and to a sort of extent, you will still maintain your results. If you have a system, the system is the most important thing in football. It's not individual players, it's the system. You look at the best teams right now in the world, they all got world-class systems. That's why Pep Guardiola and Manchester City, towards the end of January and February, played without Kevin De Bruyne, still won without Kevin De Bruyne, went to first in the league without Kevin De Bruyne, 11 points clear of Manchester United without Kevin De Bruyne. And Kevin De Bruyne is their main player and their best player. But they were able to do that not just because of the depth of their squad. They were able to do that because they've got a system in place. Then it doesn't matter which player they take out or which player they put in. They will still maintain performances and results. Just like when Pep Guardiola won his second consecutive league title, 3/4 of that season they played without Kevin De Bruyne. And they still won the league title because of the system, guys. So that's why we have to play Marcus Rashford. That's why we have to play Bruno Fernandes. We have to play Paul Pogba every single game. We cannot rest them. We cannot rotate them. And even when they're half fit, we have to play them because we rely on them. We don't have any system to rely on. So that's the reason why Oli plays Marcus Rashford. We know, as I said in the beginning of the video, you and I know Marcus Rashford is injured. He needs to recover properly. And at the rate Rashford is going playing like this through injury, guys, I can tell you now, Rashford will not be playing in the Euros. He will not be playing in the Euros because Gareth Southgate is not going to play a half-fit Rashford, and I don't even think he'll make it to even be half-fit because the boy is injured. So he needs to take care of himself, and he needs to think about the long-term impact playing through injuries right now is going to have. First of all, he's not going to be able to play in the Euros, and he can be short-circuiting his own career in the long run. He needs to take accountability. The manager needs to manage properly and not play a half-fit player. Because Rashford, let's be honest, guys, the last game, Rashford dropped probably a 3 out of 10 performance. It's just that he scored the goal. And Rashford will score goals. Rashford, I like Rashford. I like him. I know he's got big weaknesses. He's got huge weaknesses, and I address his weaknesses. But I like him. I know what he can give you, and he has that X factor. He has it. But let's be honest, on Sunday, guys, that man dropped a 3 out of 10 performance. His performance was shambolic. It's just that he got the goal. So we need a fully fit, fully charged, fresh Marcus Rashford, so we can see the best out of Rashford. So in talking about Rashford, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I expect Marcus Rashford to feature in this game against Granada. If you're asking me, I wouldn't even include him in the squad because we are a much better team than Granada. And so I'm not even going to say I expect United to win. We are going to win. We're going to win the tie because we are much better than Granada. Granada is 9th in La Liga. And they got a game, they played one more game than Atletico Bilbao, who was 10th. If Bilbao win their game, they go 9th and Granada goes 10th. Granada just got promoted to La Liga 2 seasons ago. This is a poor team, guys. This is not us playing Sevilla or even playing Real Betis or playing Atletico Madrid or playing Valencia. This is not us playing those teams. This is us playing a poor Spanish team. And so I know United will go through. I've got no doubts in my mind that United will go through. I think in the next round, we've got tougher opponents in the form of either Roma or Ajax. But right now, quarterfinals, United will go through, hands down. And that's why I say, against Granada, I would not even put Rashford in the squad because our squad is good enough. No matter who you play, those players that we have at United are good enough to beat Granada. Man for man, each and every player in the squad, including a player like Daniel James, is better than Granada's players, guys. Is better. So I would even rotate the squad and I wouldn't even play our strongest team. But we know Oli goes into every game playing his strongest 11. Can you remember last season in the Europa League? We were playing when Paul Pogba got injured. I forgot that team, but we played a very, very, very poor team and we played Paul Pogba because Oli has to play his best 11. So I expect Oli to go full strength against Granada. Full strength. In the nets, I think you'll play De Gea. I think we will see De Gea. I think it's clear right now for all of us to see that Henderson is the number 1 keeper. So Henderson will be playing in the Premier League. I do think De Gea will play against Granada. He will go with Wan-Bissaka, Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire, and I think we might see Alex Telles. I'm going to be honest with you. I think we might see Alex Telles, and I would like to see Alex Telles. Yes, Luke Shaw is better than Telles. And in my view, he's far better than Telles. And Luke Shaw is our standout player this season. He's probably player of the season. But let's give Tellez a run. As I'm saying, we are versing Granada, a very poor team. Let's give Tellez a run. So I would play Tellez, and if Oli plays Tellez, I will share that decision on. I expect Paul Pogba and either Matic. Paul Pogba, either Fred. Paul Pogba or either Scott McTominay will play in the double pivot. That's what I think. And then up front you'll have it's tough. Up front you might have Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, and Greenwood, and Edison Cavani up front. Or even he may start with Rashford on the bench because Rashford, we know, was just limping on Sunday, as we said in the video earlier. So you might see a front three of Mason Greenwood, Dan James, and Edison Cavani. But one thing is for sure, Cavani and Greenwood will start. And I want Greenwood to start as well because Greenwood has picked up form recently. Don't get me wrong, this campaign, guys, if we are being honest with each other, this campaign, Greenwood has been poor. Greenwood has been poor this campaign, especially with the heights that he hit last season. This season he has been poor. However, right now at the tail end of the season, he has picked up form. He's scoring goals, but most importantly, his performances are picking up. Something that I was very critical of him earlier on in the season was that if Mason Greenwood wasn't scoring, he wasn't contributing to the team. Right now, he's contributing to the team. He's getting on the ball. He's making runs. He's driving up the fullbacks. He's looking to make passes. So I give him credit for that. He has picked up form. So I also hope that he can score a goal as well. Versing Granada, it will do his confidence a world of good. And as I said, Cavani up front, we know Bruno's already playing. So for me, on the left wing, it's either Dan James or Marcus Rashford. One of them will start. I'm not sure which one, but I do think we might see Marcus Rashford in this game. If Rashford starts on the bench, and if we in a situation where we're only beating Granada 1-0 and it's a tight game, expect Rashford to come off the bench. Expect that. However, in my view, guys, I think the tie overall will not be a tight tie. I think we might actually beat Granada by a big score. I'm going to be honest with you. Because if it's one thing we know about Spanish teams, is that Spanish teams do not like pace and power. Spanish teams do not want to run. And whenever you are attacking Spanish teams with pace and power, you can do them over. Remember when Liverpool played Barcelona 2 seasons ago? Liverpool ran over Barcelona because Barcelona could not keep up with the pace and power of an English team. So, and if we know anything about Spanish football as well, guys, no team in Spain goes out into a game with a low block. No team in Spain parks the bus except for Atletico Madrid. They are a special case, and that's why they don't win any trophies, is because they play negative football. But from the first team to from the top teams in Spain to the bottom teams in Spain, they all play front foot attacking football. So I expect Granada to come out and attack us, and if they do that, guys, we are going to demolish them. United is the best team in Europe at attacking spaces. We are the best team at attacking spaces. Our primary game plan is playing on the counter attack, and the minute you give United space, we will kill you, because we've got players like Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Mason Greenwood, that when they're in front of the goal and you give them space, these guys don't miss. Especially Bruno, guys. Bruno is so clinical. In my view, Bruno's probably the most clinical player we have at United. I'm going to be honest with you. Some people will say Martial, some people will say Greenwood. But off the back of this season, Bruno Fernandes is the most clinical player we have at this club. So I expect the game to be a high scoring game. I'm not going to lie with you. I expect United to win by 2 clear goals. That can be 2-0, that can be 3-1, but I expect United at minimum to win by 2 clear goals. We've got too much firepower for Granada, way too much firepower for Granada. But don't get me wrong, in me saying all this about Spanish football, let us be clear, guys. Spanish football, it's a very technical game that they play. They play a very technical game, and they are they are ahead of every other league in terms of playing football. They are outstanding playing football. When the ball is at their feet, they are outstanding outstanding. They are so comfortable on the ball. So that's what you will see also now when we play Granada. There will be times where Granada gets on the ball and they move the ball better than United. It's because of their coaching, not because of their players. They don't have not one single player that can come into our starting 11 or even into our squad. But I'm sure they got good coaches, because a lot of the teams in Spain got good coaches. And so you will see Granada getting on the ball. You will see Granada making some patterns in their play and playing good football. You will see that. But overall, I just feel United will have way too much firepower for someone like Granada. So as I'm saying, guys, this for me is an easy tie. It's an easy tie that we have against Granada, and I'm expecting us to at least beat in the first leg Granada. For us to at least beat Granada in the first leg by 2 clear goals. I'm looking forward to this game, guys. If you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button right now, and I'll see you all after the game when United beat Granada. Cheers.